Yeah, well, the premise is Crash goes to Spyro's world, Spyro goes to Crash's world.
Oh, I
Oh,
did
it's like
play.
Jimmy Timmy Power Hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did play one of those.
And
I
then you
didn't.
could get like trading cards like as the collectibles, and then if you linked your GBAs, you could give each other the trading cards.
That's cool. Welcome back to the DCPU. Today, Lanterns, Episode 2, Trust Fall. I'm back once again with Thomas and Jerry, and let's just get right into it. So, what did we think about this episode, everybody?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this was just another solid episode.
Like I was thinking maybe it was like a little bit slower than last week's, but then I'm like there's a lot of cool sequences in it too, like especially that chase scene on the highway.
Oh, yeah. 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 The chase on the highway was so fun.
They brought in the Manhunters, like we
Yeah.
were talking about last week.
Yeah, I wrote that down. Jerry's right a few times in this episode.
I did see something about the Manhunters before the show started, so I did know that they were coming, but I didn't want to say anything.
So can I quickly go on a rant here? So a couple days ago, like the night after the episode came out, or the night the episode did come out, I like opened Firefox, and you know the default page on Firefox has like some like pocket tab, like suggested websites or whatever the fuck, suggested articles, and one of
Yeah.
them is from Men's Health, and it says Lanterns introduces Manhunters. Here's the origin of the name or whatever. And it pissed me the fuck off because the episode hadn't even been out for 24 hours yet. And it's like, what fucking business does Men's Health have publishing an article on fucking lanterns?
Because people watch TV shows, and you have to sit down to watch TV shows. And if you're sitting down, you can't be working out.
It's a man show.
And then I went to the article because I'm like, who the fuck is this asshole? And some guy named Joe George. And then his little bio says he writes for StarTrek.com, Tor.com, Bloody Disgusting, and elsewhere. He tweets nonsense from Jaeger Orgy or whatever the fuck. J.A. Oh, okay. George II.
Jaeger orgy.
And sometimes updates his website, JoeWritesWords.com. What is this fucking nerd doing writing articles for Men's Health? Not a fucking lick of a background in fitness. This fucking loser. His website is broken. It doesn't even work anymore. Anyway, fuck you, Joe George. You should fucking.
Oh my god.
In other news, we're announcing our new men's health related podcast.
Well, I know who's not going to be on it.
Our collaboration with Men's Health.
But yeah, Jerry was right. We see the Manhunters in this episode, so that was pretty cool.
Well, we hear about them.
Well, yeah, we don't technically see them like as themselves, but we know they exist within Rushville.
Maybe.
At least
Maybe.
one.
At least one, yes.
Maybe more.
Let's try to do this in chronological order, just to have some kind of structure. I'm just going to read through the plot synopsis like we did last time, so we'll just go paragraph by paragraph, and we'll talk about what happens there. But before we do that, I have a thought from last week that occurred to me after we recorded. What if John's dad was approached first by Abin Sur's ring, but he said he was afraid, and that's why he's so obsessed with turning John into like a prodigy for being a Green Lantern?
Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because Jerry said something that was echoing around in my head. He was like, he demonstrates some kind of knowledge that a normal person wouldn't have because Hal's doing his first TV interview. And it's like, well, Hal describes the process in that episode of like, he was just in the middle of the night. Suddenly he's in a green ball and it just asks him, are you afraid? And then whisks him away after he says no. So I think John's dad said yes. And then the ring just left and he's really bitter about it. And so that's why he's conditioning his son to not be afraid of things.
There's something in the comics that would lend to that too. Originally, I don't know. I think it is in the original origin for Hale. If not, it was a very early one. When Abin Sur crashes on Earth, he sends the ring to look for anyone without fear, like a worthy candidate on Earth, and it finds two people that are without fear: Hale Jordan and Guy Gardner. and then he's like, okay, just whichever is the closest. Um, John is kind of taking the Guy Gardner role where he's the first backup being trained, whereas in the comics John is like the third, like the backup to the backup.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. I always thought the guy came after John for some reason.
No, they come around the same time. But yeah. So if that is the case, if the ring did find two people, maybe that was maybe it was John's dad.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to derail things immediately, but that was just something after I just. Anyway, I would never want to derail things, but that was a thought I had since last week, and it's not related to the plot of this episode at all. So I just wanted to get it out there now.
Mm.
All right. Anybody else?
If we're offering corrections or notes on last week, I couldn't remember why Coast City got blown up when I was explaining the Parallax storyline. I looked it up afterwards and I kind of facepalmed. It was Cyborg Superman blew up the city after Superman dies, the deaths of Superman. I think I said it was maybe a crisis.
I think you did say it was crisis
How
related.
dare you?
I think I said like, oh, I think it was a crisis or something, and kind of hand waved it away. But I just want to offer that correction.
Cities blow up all the time in the comics, so.
I don't know. That's
Remember when they nuked Bloodhaven?
well, that's Bloodhaven. Was that like chemo exploding or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the plot. Unlike last week's episode, it all takes place in 2016, which kind of isn't what I was expecting. I was sort of expecting like a parallel story throughout the whole season, where we'd get some 2026 at the end of each episode, or somewhere. But this is fine. Anyway, Hal decides to give a new training lesson to John. He gives him his ring and instructs him to use his instincts to fly. While John is unable to fly, they are both astonished to see that he manifested a green bird. Hal then assigns John to take a plane to Coast City and retrieve his lantern to charge his ring, while forcing John to keep the bird alive. Soon after, Hal's ring runs out of energy, leaving him powerless.
I can't believe he didn't bring the lantern with him.
I think maybe
Kinda
he
rushed
wasn't
off.
expecting shit to get out of hand like this. Maybe.
I just feel like I guess we don't really know how close to home he was. I just think like if you need the lantern, you'd be like, okay, well I need to go, but I also need to get the lantern. But
Well,
also like it's Hal Jordan, so
in episode 1, he picks John up in Coast City, so he's not too far from home. And then they fly off immediately to Rushville?
Rushville.
Yeah.
I will say in Hal's defense too, like I think he had a lot more juice than he thought he had, because I think he was expecting to be able to handle all this shit with whatever charge was left in the ring. But then the guy blew himself up and he had to use a bunch of Green Lantern juice to contain the explosion. And that probably drained the ring.
And then also during John's flight training, was he just planning on letting John fall? Like, because we see later the ring didn't have enough juice to like have him fly more than a couple seconds.
Yeah, I did wonder about that, and I saw people bitching about it online. They're like, he hit the ring on the car and it's magically got 5% back, and then yeah, well, that's fine. I thought that was a fun little joke. It's like when you swap the batteries around in a TV remote or something. You get a little extra kick.
Yeah, he says it's a one-time jump start too. Like,
yeah. But then people were like, oh, so 5% only gets him a few seconds in the air, huh? Well, can you only fly for 3 minutes? And it's like, dude, you're thinking too much about this. Like, I mean, I'm willing to bet you could probably explain it away by saying it's like the efficiency of energy depends on like the person's willpower and focus. And Hal is, Hal.
We could also say like the bird is still drawing energy.
Oh, great fucking point. Great point. Didn't even think about that.
The bird was really interesting.
Yeah.
When it showed up.
I love the bird.
And you can see how like shocked he is when it first appears. and doesn't go away once the ring is off.
Yeah, that was also really cool. I didn't know that they could do that.
Well,
I mean,
to my
clearly
knowledge, it only really happens once in the comics, and it's like a old story. There's a villain. I think he's just like a criminal that Hal picks up and gets sent to jail. Somehow he connects enough with the ring that he's able to, without like being like far away from Hal, control Hal's ring and make constructs himself. I had looked this up after Hale made the money in episode 1. I'm like, has that ever happened in the comics? And it's like, oh yeah, but it was only this one dude. When he had that power, he made a bunch of money.
At first, I thought maybe it was like one of the Guardians somehow coming to Earth and like disguising themselves as a bird. But we see later that's not true.
Yeah, it's just a construct.
I saw something online about how there's a very recent Green Lantern story in which John doesn't need a ring. I don't know if they're pulling from that comic or more than likely they're just writing their own thing. Which I think it's cool. I think it's cool that like he doesn't need to be wearing the ring to maintain a construct. That's very weird. I like how it kind of throws everybody off, including his kidnappers, who we'll talk about later. Yeah, really, really good start. And I like that we don't see him fly right away. Maybe it's a little cliche, but I thought it was funny.
It kind of makes me laugh because every time he tries to do something, I mean, he did make the bubble wrap that we didn't see, but like Hal is just like, yeah, I'll just put him in danger and he'll learn. And then he's just like a really shitty teacher. He's like, fly. He's like, how? He's like, just do it.
I thought it was kind of shitty that he didn't like give John the ring when he goes to pick up the lantern.
Yeah, good point.
Another thing I got right was maybe he'll just send John to pick up the lantern.
That was also in my notes. Jerry was right.
I wonder how far Coast City is from Rushville. Oh, I guess he said it was like a 6-hour. Did he say it was a 6-hour flight?
I think so.
God, so he had to go to the airport, get on a 6-hour flight, go get the lantern, and then come back in like a day.
Yeah, I mean, that all kind of lines up. If he left in the morning and with all the kidnapping and stuff, he came back late at night.
I also wonder, why isn't Hal calling the Guardians? That was the first thing in my notes, because John is like, have you told the Guardians about this yet? And Hal's like, nope. Why is he not communicating with them?
I think I'm still sticking with what I said last week, that he's like been cut off from the Corps for like 10 years.
Yeah, I do like that theory still. I mean, with that, I don't know if that happens at all ever in the comics, but wouldn't they be able to shut off the lantern remotely so it couldn't refill his ring if that was the case, though?
No, I don't believe so.
No? Okay. It's just once they make a lantern, it's kind of out of their hands.
Well, maybe. Because like I'm thinking of Emerald Twilight, and I don't think he goes back to his lantern to recharge. He like steals the energy from a construct that they sent to Earth, and then he just goes around beating up Green Lanterns along his way to Oa, stealing their rings and their charges.
Oh, okay.
So maybe they did turn it off.
He's definitely something about him and not reporting to Oa and the Guardians. There's something there for sure.
And just talking about that out loud, I realize it comes back around to their final conversation where Hal asks John if he's reported this new information to the Guardians, and John's like, "No, I respect the chain of command. I'm giving it to you." Anyway, I'm ready to move on. You guys good?
Mm-hmm.
With the Rushville townspeople distrusting of Hal during the town meeting, he decides to retrieve the corpses of the mass shooting to use as reference in the football field. At the football field, he notices the detectors that go off are not metal detectors, but in fact detect the presence of aliens. Afterwards, he's discovered and Carrie confronts him. When he states he wants to take the corpses to William's ranch, she accompanies him, reluctantly. William refuses to cooperate and has a sniper shoot Hal when he refuses to leave. At the hospital, Carrie says that she heard him utter the name Sinestro in his sleep, but Hal refuses to talk about him. While leaving the hospital, Hal is confused that the equipment is unused and that there are very few patients. There are no patients. Wikipedia is wrong. There's not a single other name in the registry. So that's the second chunk here. I loved Hal stealing the corpses. I found it very funny, very charming, and also like some real detective work is getting done.
It was funny. It made me laugh because he's just on the phone with John, acting all casual, and then he's dragging these corpses like into his car,
Yeah.
shoving them in the trunk.
Yeah, and I didn't quite know what he was doing at first either.
Oh no! I was like, what is he doing? He just
thought
walks in and steals them.
I thought he was gonna try and do like his own autopsy or something. Not that I don't think he would have gotten anything out of that, because, like you said in the first episode, they perfectly disguise themselves as people, physically anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad the show pointed out how loud Hal and Billy were when they were talking in the town hall audience. I was getting so much secondhand anxiety because I was like, guys, are you being too loud? And then Carrie's like, can you guys just get the fuck out of here?
I had that as a note too, because so many times in shows they'll be talking like that and no one hears them. But even in the background, you can see people turning, like, looking like, why are they talking so loud?
Yeah.
When they go to the ranch, this kind of was before they had the Manhunters, but it said like Pioneer Ranch, I think, was on the sign. Or there was something about Pioneer. Oh no, I think it was the football team was called the Pioneers. And it kind of made me think of like the Manhunters, because they were before the Green Lanterns. I don't know if it's actually like a hint or if it's just me making a stupid connection.
I mean, I'm sure they picked a name on purpose.
Yeah, and then there's all the talk about like colonization and that too.
Yeah, and the sign over the ranch says something like "Study your history" or "Know your history" or something.
Study the past.
Study the past.
Yeah,
yeah.
I made a note of that too later, because that seems like it's going to be important.
I'm shocked nobody else in town figured out that the metal detectors weren't actually metal detectors. I wonder what kind of shit was getting smuggled into the football games. I mean, clearly, I guess people were armed. So,
well, I think if you go through the metal detector there, they're like, oh, what set it off? Oh, it's just my gun. Oh, go on through.
yeah, right. I wonder who provided that technology. Hal says it's not anything he's ever seen on Earth before.
I think it's probably the Manhunter.
The whole series is actually just a vessel to bring Martian Manhunter in.
Again, unrelated Manhunter.
He cannot stress this enough. That's all I got till the next paragraph. Anybody else?
We mentioned the hospital, or is that the next?
No,
this is the hospital. Yeah.
Oh, she says she's from Gotham.
Oh yeah,
and
Carrie,
her last
Carrie
name is Kane.
Carrie Kane from Gotham. I don't know what that means. Isn't Batwoman like her last name Kane?
Yeah, the cousin of the Waynes, right?
Yeah.
Also, how does she have that accent? Being from Gotham.
I don't know. I guess she just kind of adapted to. I mean, we don't know when she moved here, right?
That's true.
But that's a good point. Yeah.
I guess also when she's on the phone, I think it's when Hal wakes up while he's in the hospital. She's on the. I didn't catch this. I saw it online, but people were saying that when she's talking on the phone, she says like, "Thanks for calling, Barb." So people are like, "Batgirl, Batgirl, Batgirl." Because there's only one Barbara in DC.
Well, we talked about this in the original DCPU with like how they would just use names like Wally or Carol Ferris, and it's like they're just like original characters, and like the naming is completely coincidental. It's like I think they know what they're doing. Like they wouldn't have had the name Barbara if they didn't at least want people to think it was Batgirl.
Yeah, if two people have the same name, that's very important if Batman v Superman taught us anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Hal wakes up, he goes, "Why did you say that name?"
The empty hospital registry and the fact that it just looked like a complete ghost town, that I think is the biggest clue to the mystery so far. It got me thinking, what if the entire town are manhunters?
A body snatcher situation?
Like there's no people living in the town. They're all manhunters, or they're all aliens. And the guys who are saying that they're aliens, like the people from last week and the people we're going to talk about soon, are the manhunters pretending to be aliens. Because for whatever reason, that hospital is not getting used. And in that town hall, they were definitely talking about Hal Jordan. I think he was right. I don't think he was just being arrogant. I think the idea like that he walks in and they all go quiet, that was kind of creepy. And like when he's walking around town, he notices like The whole town is deserted. Literally everybody is at the town hall. And that's why he's like, okay, cool. So I can go break into the morgue because the whole town is deserted, which is incredibly unusual. If anybody's ever been to a town hall before, it's not very likely you get this many people. So I think it could be a body snatcher situation or something. Uh, I mean, there's two avenues you could take with that. They're either all aliens or they're all manhunters or something.
There could just be like a couple of each. I don't know.
Because no, they can't all. No, there are two forces in conflict with each other here. There are the people who died at the football game, who set off the detectors, including the guy who got interrogated and blew himself up, which to me
are the
seems,
same group as the kidnappers.
Yes. And then there are the people of Rushville. There's two factions. They're not living together in harmony.
I guess what I meant to say is that there could just be maybe not the whole town as manhunters.
Right. But then why is the hospital like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll say this. I don't think Carrie is a manhunter. And I think dropping the fact that she's from Gotham is a very deliberate hint that she's a normal person. Like, she's not going to be related to whatever we find out these people are, one way or the other. And I think that's why she's going to be such an ally for Hal and John. But I just, I'm scratching my head here. And it's
the town hall could also, it's a small town. There was just a mass shooting. Like, I could see that, guess. But the hospital is definitely weird.
So strange.
It was kind of weird the hospital was so big for such a small town.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty big. I don't know. We didn't see that much of it, but it seemed like very new and clean and big.
Could have been paid for by the benefactor of William Macon. Or Macon himself through the money of his benefactor.
William Manhunter.
Yeah. and it, I was just thinking, like, the guy blew himself up. Robots in fantasy or science fiction can self-destruct, usually. That seems like a very robot thing to do. And the way he was kind of looking for information with his eyes darting off to the side, like he was checking Wikipedia in his brain, I felt like he was literally looking things up in an index, like a robot. So
just
maybe these guys are lying about being aliens.
Okay, but then why would they tell John about the manhunters? Why would he what if they are manhunters, what would that benefit them?
Because then that puts Hal into the mindset that William Macon's protecting a manhunter instead of going after the visitors. I don't know, just something to think about. I think the whole town being aliens would also fit into the whole colonization thing. And like the idea that Rushville is kind of its own little community and they're scared of people kind of encroaching on them because they're an enclave of like literal alien foreigners. Which also ties into like the metatextual theme, of like immigration. And I don't know, just it was something I thought might be a possibility. We'll see. But we should move on. We're already starting to talk about it.
They could be like alien refugees, a la like the MCU Skrulls
or New Asgard.
Yeah,
exactly. In Coast City, John finds the lantern in Hal's vault, which is revealed to be a pocket universe. He is also forced to feed Hal's live plant, Earl, with beef and bison. On his way out, he's abducted by 3 men, despite trying to escape in a highway. This plot thing is fucking terrible. Whoever wrote this,
I think they might not speak English.
No, they love to use pronouns. Like they love to use he instead of the proper name, even though there's a bunch of people. Despite trying, okay, so there's chase on the freeway. John is kidnapped again after escaping onto the freeway. When a black van slams into him, John's brought before. Okay, thanks for spoiling the guy's name. I don't think it said that in the credits. It says in the wiki summary the guy's name is Anton. I don't think they ever say that in the episode, do they?
I don't know.
An extraterrestrial who demands to know about manhunters, a synthetic race responsible for genocide against their species, while a lantern, parentheses implied to be Abin Sur, was sent to execute the manhunter, they believe he's still alive and hiding in Rushville. Anton also reveals that the victims at the mass shooting and Wayland Sanders were his own men sent to find the manhunter. They release John and give him 48 hours to locate the manhunter, or they will intervene on Rushville. They skip over the part where they like inject John with the memories of a genocide,
Yeah.
which I thought was really, really scary. But that's that chunk of the story. So we've been talking about it already. Like we already discussed the highway fight. Fucking great. So exciting.
Rolling it back a little bit to the mansion.
Oh yeah, of course.
Very male living space. The only scene of True Detective I've seen, kind of reminiscent of that.
Oh yeah, is Rust's house or his apartment, Matthew McConaughey's place.
Yeah,
it's just empty with a cross on the wall.
Yeah, there's like a lawn chair set up and like.
I'd like that there's a bunch of pictures with him like photoshopped in meeting famous people.
Oh yeah.
I saw one online that someone pointed out. It was him with the cast of Harry Potter.
In the show?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like him and Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint.
That's pretty funny.
I can look it up after we're done.
Yeah. I thought it was really funny that he has this giant mansion. I was not expecting that. And he's like, yeah, I didn't fucking buy it. This guy whose kid I saved bought it for me. I like that it's so sparse, and John calls him out for that. Again, it's like, what's Hal's deal? You know?
John's also like real giddy to see the suit.
Oh yeah, he is geeking out over that suit. I also want to just call out that once again we have a DCU project with a pocket dimension. They just can't escape these fucking things.
I was wondering if it's connected somehow. Or if
I don't know.
It's supposed to be like a hint towards it. I don't know
because they had the pocket dimension in Superman, which is very different than the pocket dimension in Peacemaker, which seems to be very different than the pocket dimension here. So I don't know how all that works, but it's very funny how that seems to be like a very constant thing through all these projects, is that they always introduce a pocket universe.
Yeah.
But this time it's just being used as a junk drawer, basically.
And the password to open it was something about Mogo.
Mogo doesn't socialize or something?
Yeah. And Mogo's the planet who's a Green Lantern.
The living planet.
Yeah. He's a planet who's a Green Lantern.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he also becomes the new Oa when Oa gets destroyed. So like the new house for the power battery, the central power battery.
Oh, we forgot to talk about it in the last paragraph, but so we weren't sure last week what the status of the Yellow Lanterns were, or the status of Sinestro, and it sounds like Sinestro has already turned bad.
Yeah,
and they've already had a falling out, and Hal does care about him because he's muttering his name in his sleep. I just thought that was worth calling out. I thought that was kind of sweet, that he does still care about Sinestro because he's, talking about him in his sleep.
Like DCU makes them gay lovers because it's woke.
We'll see. I mean, there's no sign of a girlfriend or wife in Hal's giant mansion. Maybe that's part of why he's
no woman would let that space look like that.
No, certainly not. Maybe he had a wife or a girlfriend and she left him.
Yeah, no word about his traditional girlfriend in the comics, Carol Ferris.
Yeah. I do wonder if we're going to see her.
I feel like they have to mention her at least once.
Yeah,
maybe
it'd be weird if they only introduce her after this point in the story.
Yeah. They name drop Ferris Air as like the air base that they're on in the first episode during the interview?
I feel like they did drop it, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm also not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just assumed, but
I thought it was a great twist, that actually the visitors are the good guys. Like these are aliens. Like we don't know, but like they do kind of torture John. But like they're like, look, man, this is the easiest way for us to convey what is happening to you. We're just going to inject you with a little bit of trauma from our home planet that was destroyed, or our people.
Do you think they're ever going to show that?
No, I don't. I think that the show is working on a budget, and if they were going to show it, we would have saw it when John was getting injected. I think it's just left up to the viewer's imagination. And honestly, I'm fine with that because Aaron Pierre's reaction during that scene is really good. He
Mm.
looks to be in tremendous pain, and I think my imagination can do the work.
And then they give him 48 hours.
And then you lose 6 hours on the plane.
Yeah, that guy too. He's really good. That guy pops up in a ton of HBO stuff. He is in True Detective
Mm.
as like I think he's the supervisor for Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. It's very nice that like HBO will kind of reuse like a lot of character actors and you know cast members and stuff when it comes to like secondary cast.
Oh,
Like he's in The Wire too. He plays a guy in The Wire.
while they were interrogating John, uh, he says something like, "Have you ever been deceived by someone you loved?" Or something like that.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
he says yes.
yeah, and he says it almost immediately. Like there's no hesitation.
And I'm like, who? Was it his dad? But like he seems to be on good terms with his dad. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean it can't be true.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's been like 20 years, so they could have worked things out.
yeah.
But I did forget about that. Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get more information there.
I got like a Hail Mary, like just kind of random speculation here.
Please.
Okay, so Manhunter is a unseen benefactor that's kind of hermited up on the ranch. But instead of being, the genocidal robot, he actually feels remorse for his actions, and he's been like secretly using his technology to help keep the town safe and healthy, and that's why the hospital isn't being used. And we're gonna get like a kind of conflict of like, well, he did do awful things, but he's trying to make up for it. Can he make up for it?
Hmm.
Sort of deal. And
And
like,
will
but
he be allowed to make up for it?
yeah,
That could be
again,
interesting.
just
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. We'll
just
see.
with the pieces we have now, that's my long shot.
Returning to Rushville with the bird, John runs into Zoe at a diner. She reiterates she does not regret their one night stand, but also states that she does love William. He goes to his motel to meet with Hal, giving him the lantern to recharge his ring. John then asks about the manhunters, revealing the threat that Anton gave him. After John deconstructs the bird and heads into the hotel room, Hal puts on his suit and flies off to Oa to visit Sinestro in prison. He asks about the manhunters, with Sinestro telling him that if one still exists, he would be the second greatest threat he's currently facing. Sinestro, in turn, asks Hal about John. Okay, I don't. One of my questions here is it Oa? Or was it just a prison
Um,
planet? And this guy on Wikipedia is being presumptuous.
I think it's being presumptuous.
I
I
think
don't
it's
Yeah,
think it's
yeah, I think
Oa.
it's just a prison planet.
there's uh, I'll explain later some things about Sinestro in the comics.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to today's history lesson.
Um, something that didn't get mentioned in the paragraph. Hale reveals to John like that bird is unique and stuff, even though he hadn't said it before. And he learned it from the kidnappers. And then he says, "What does the bird mean?" And John goes, "It's just a bird."
Hmm.
What do we think about that?
I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah,
I
I don't.
think it's a canary, and it's referencing Black Canary existing in the DCU.
Could be a canary in the coal mine sort of situation. Like John's stronger than we think. John something else.
Well, I definitely think Sinestro is hinting at John being the biggest threat that Hal is
Mm.
facing. That's what I was getting from the final conversation of the episode. Before we get too deep into Sinestro and that planet and stuff, I just want to quickly ask a question. So, do you have to recite the pledge when you recharge the ring?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just wasn't sure if that was Hal just taking it very seriously. Okay, that's interesting. I did not know that.
Yep. That's I think that's why he was kind of like rushing it through.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I gotta say it. Um, I have a question for the class. How do we think the show is gonna be like laid out? If it's 8 episodes long, I kind of anticipate the next episode being like a flashback, because a lot of 8-episode series have like a flashback episode,
Hmm.
especially with Hale meeting up with Sinestro and stuff.
That's what I was going to say is that, well, maybe not that specifically, but I think if they do mention Carol, it
Mm.
could be through Sinestro.
John doesn't really have anything teed up for next week. Like, he did his mission and now he just went back to the hotel room, and I guess he knows about the Manhunters now, and he knows about the aliens and their threat.
Yeah, I think this would
But
be a
his
good spot for a flashback, and then like the 2 episodes after that would be like the 48 hours, then like a finale wrapping that up, and then like 2 episodes Better Call Saul style flash forward 2026.
yeah, I could see that. I think that I mean, John respects the chain of command, and I don't know how long it. That's another thing I saw people bitching about online. How long did it take Hal to fly into space and go to that planet? It's like, dude, you're thinking too hard about it. He's got a magic ring. Maybe he can fly at like the speed of light, or maybe there's some kind of Green Lantern fast travel. I don't know. Like you said, it's a new continuity. Um,
It's cool seeing him in the suit, seeing
oh
the
yeah,
green aura as
Mhm.
he's flying in
yeah.
space.
Maybe it was like this. You have to wear the suit for the Green Aura, or maybe it was just like when he flew last week. It's because it's during the day, so the green glow from flying is just harder to see.
I was
Maybe.
thinking it's more like a protective field and he needs it in space to keep oxygen.
Yeah,
That
that's
makes
kind of what I
sense.
was imagining.
That makes sense. I thought it was cool. We went off world in just the second episode. You know,
Mhm.
that's really cool. Yeah, and he puts on the suit and everything, like we just said. Um, yeah, I would be totally down for a flashback episode. Uh, I do like how the DCU is kind of hitting the ground running, like starting with Superman. They're just like, yeah, this is a universe that already exists. We already have hundreds, if not thousands, of heroes and stories that have happened and are active. So I don't mind that we've started with a story where Sinestro is already imprisoned, but it would be cool to see the shit that went down with him. And for general audiences who don't know shit about Sinestro, I feel like that's going to be pretty important. Like Carrie and Hal talking about it at the hospital may not be enough to satisfy people as far as that goes.
But for the curious, I do have a lesson plan, a history of the Sinestro Corps prepared for today's episode.
Before we do that, I have one last note, and it's a question.
Gotcha.
How does Sinestro know about John?
Oh,
Who told him?
Maybe they get TV in space prison.
And a TMZ thing where it's like, washed up piece of shit Hal Jordan is being replaced. I don't know.
I just think it's really interesting because I didn't think that they were going to introduce Sinestro this early. Even before when he's saying like Sinestro in his sleep, like I didn't think that he'd be introduced at the end of the episode. And then the way that he's introduced, where he's just like putting even more distrust between the two.
I didn't even know he was going to be in the show.
I had a feeling he was showing up in this episode. That's why I wanted to do the lesson on Yellow Lanterns before I even watched the episode.
Oh wow.
You can check the text logs. It's before I watched it.
All right. Well, that's all the notes I have. Overall, great episode. Not as good as the first one, but like the first one really knocked it out of the park. But this is a great episode, and I'm looking forward to next week. I'm ready for the history lesson. Any other thoughts we wanted to get out, or just how we feel about the episode before we get into this?
No, definitely feels like an episode 2, a little bit slower than the first one. The first one being very packed, setting up everything, but still very solid.
I still like that the mystery is building.
Yeah.
That's
And I think
all
it's going to, as far as mysteries go, with the 8 episodes, I think the pace is not too slow. I do think the pace is just right. We're learning enough at the right speed.
The pacing could be like, I guess, bad depending on how much they do split this into the past and the future. But I guess we'll see how they do that.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? There is one thing I wanted to ask about. Earl. What is the deal with Earl? Is that a Green Lantern comic thing?
I have no
man-eating
idea.
plant? No idea.
Not that I know of.
Did he get him from Poison Ivy?
Ooh,
Is Hal dating Poison Ivy?
they're both green.
They're both green. They're both green.
It's gonna be the final battle of the show is gonna be between John and Hal and the villain at his mansion, and then Earl's gonna eat the bad guy, and
I
then that's how
think
they win.
I think Earl might be a Chekhov's gun situation. I do think Earl might eat somebody. We might see Earl come to Rushville. I just wanted to get that out because I totally forgot. We just completely glossed over the fact that Hal has a man-eating plant. But I
Yeah,
thought that was cool.
yeah. I really doubt, but it would be cool if they like start seeding the idea of like the green and the red. Because isn't there a Swamp Thing project in the works? Or
There, in the original slate, there was an announcement that there was going to be a Swamp Thing film, and then James Mangold confirmed that he is directing it and possibly writing it. And it's been radio silence for 3 years. So we don't know what the fucking deal is with that. I mean, I guess he was busy with Indiana Jones 5 and a complete unknown, but I don't know what he's doing now. I don't know what's up with that project. I would love a Swamp Thing movie. So, I hope it happens. I think Mangold is a fine director.
Yeah, and all of like the forces in the DC universe, you got like the emotional spectrum that we're covering in this. I really like the green and the red, which are like plant life and animal life. You see that a lot in like Swamp Thing, Poison Ivy. The red you see with like Beast Boy and Animal Man.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
Yeah, not related to the emotional spectrum, just another one of those things in the DC universe, like the Speed Force.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't forget the Speed Force.
Yeah, and now there's like the Strength Force and the whatever force.
The what? The Strength Force?
Yeah.
Earth Force.
Oh man,
there's like Pokemon types of Speed Force now.
Yeah, that's fairly recent.
It's fucking speedsters.
I will say I could also just see that it's kind of like a joke because his house is empty. He just has pictures of himself with famous people and then a man-eating plant.
Yeah,
It's like it kind of fits the
Oh, one other thing, literally announced while we were recording last week's episode on Friday. In the middle of the recording, James Gunn properly announces the Jimmy Olsen show as The People versus Gorilla Grodd from the American Vandal showrunners. That sounds fucking amazing. It's a mockumentary where a true crime thing where Jimmy Olsen is trying to see if Grodd was wrongfully convicted. That's great.
I love the idea. I love American Vandal.
Yeah, American Vandal I've heard is a great show. I haven't checked it out yet, but I know Jesse is a really big fan of it. He did an episode on his podcast a couple months ago.
Yeah, season 2 not as good as season 1, but still enjoyable.
That sounds great. I thought what's his name? Skylar Gisondo? I thought he was great as Jimmy Olsen. And I love the whole Daily Planet crew. And one of my complaints, and it's not much of a complaint, but I thought the Daily Planet crew was really underused in that movie. And then in James Gunn's post, he's like, yeah, we had this idea before we even took over DC. And like we had the cast in mind, and it's for this project. So it's like the reason why they're underserved in I almost said Spider-Man.
Spy Kids?
Is because they were cast for the purpose of this show. First and foremost, they wanted to do a Daily Planet show.
Yeah.
Which is why they have Wendell Pierce, big guy from The Wire, and all these other people. Anyway, I'm just really excited for that. We were talking about it last week, and as far as the slate and what's kind of unconfirmed, but I think he said it's coming out next year. So now we do have something else on the books for 2027. Definitely.
I think that was pretty much like a production, like going into production sort of press release.
Oh, okay, got it. So maybe no release date, but they're like going into production.
I mean, I feel like it wouldn't need that much work. I could definitely see next year, maybe in the fall
or early 2028. I don't know. The other thing too is we forgot to mention as far as why they don't have anything past 2027. Like I said it immediately off mic after we stopped recording, but James Gunn and Peter Safran's contracts expire at the end of 2027. So again, going back into Paramount and everything, it's like that's kind of like a big moment where it's like, do we continue in this direction? Do we keep these guys on board because the contracts expire? And if you're going to pivot, it all depends on whether you bring these two guys back as CEOs or not. Yeah. Sorry, I just want to get that all out before the history lesson because we're talking about the speedsters, and the speedsters got me thinking about whether or not Flash is going to show up in Jimmy Olsen, or I mean the people versus
Oh.
Gorilla Grodd.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Because I know Gorilla Grodd is a Flash villain.
Yeah,
Well,
usually.
apparently also a Jimmy Olsen villain. But, you know, it just got me thinking. And, you know, we were talking about the state of things at the end of last week. So this is a pretty big announcement that happened while we were recording.
Let's see what's announced while we're recording today.
Yeah, right. They announced the date for Batman. Okay.
They announced the
Please.
casting for Batman.
Yeah, I'm ready. History time.
Okay.
Okay, for those listening at home, Jerry has made a PowerPoint presentation about the Yellow Lanterns.
Oh my god, it's 100 pages.
I've included a link.
Oh my god, is it really?
No, it's like
Oh,
6.
okay. It's 6 or 7. Oops. Oh, this is amazing.
Okay. So, this week's lesson is about the Sinestro Corps, aka the Yellow Lanterns. So here's the oath. All the Lantern Corps have the oath. We heard the Green Lanterns in the episode today. Here's the Yellow Lanterns. In blackest day and brightest night, beware your fears made into light. Let those who try to stop what's right burn like my power, Sinestro's might. A little bit of an inversion on the Green Lanterns there.
That's pretty selfish.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a little narcissistic to call it
Yeah.
Sinestro Corps.
And then put his own name in the...
Yeah.
Hmm.
The entity, all the emotional spectrums have an entity like embodiment. Parallax, as we discussed last week, he is the first that was created. All the others kind of got retconned in after him. But Parallax, he was the yellow impurity in the green power battery that possessed Hal Jordan.
He looks like a cool guy.
Yeah. I said he was like insectoid last week. But he's kind of, I mean, he has a little bit of that, but he's kind of like a bat too.
He's kind of like a chimera looking thing.
Yeah, they all
definitely
look
reptilian, a little bit insectoid, a little bit like a gargoyle or a demon or something.
Yeah. Scary.
It is cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely fight this thing in Dark Souls for sure.
Oh, yeah. The Sinestro Corps is kind of the antithesis of the Green Lantern Corps. Their emotion is fear, but unlike other lanterns, they get their power from inspiring fears in others and not like the inherent emotion in themselves.
I'm going to raise my hand.
Yep.
Does Batman come up in this presentation?
No.
He does become a Yellow Lantern at some point, doesn't he?
For a toy, like
Oh.
it's like for like a panel, so they can make a Yellow Lantern Batman toy.
Got it. Because he does inspire fear in criminals.
Yeah,
I think he resists the ring.
yeah.
I just know it's a costume in Arkham City. Sorry.
Yeah, a Batman villain will be mentioned, however.
Oh, okay.
Probably the one you're thinking of.
Calendar Man.
Victor Zsasz.
So, the first real slide here. Space cops can be fascist? What? I know, it's a shocking truth. Sinestro was a well-respected and powerful Green Lantern. He was charged with training Hal Jordan. He was considered, at least in some continuities, he was considered to be the greatest Green Lantern. Unbeknownst to the Guardians, Sinestro had used his ring to subjugate his homeworld, Korugar? I'm not sure how to say that. Becoming its dictator.
That's
kind
crazy.
Kind of the same vein as the Manhunters. He's like, well, if I control everything, I can keep the peace. Again, parallel with these space cops being like, can be fascist. In the course of his training, or in the course of their training, Hal's training, Korugar is attacked, and it is found out by the Guardians that Sinestro took over the planet when Hal calls in the other Lanterns for backup.
Who's training?
Hal's being trained by Sinestro.
Okay, got it.
Who attacks the planet?
I'm not sure. I should have wrote that down. It's just some alien force.
I was kind of imagining it was like an uprising or something.
No, it is coming from the outside.
Do people like being ruled by Sinestro? Is it like a Latveria Doctor Doom situation where he has like good health care and stuff?
He has some loyalists, but overall, no.
Okay.
The birth of the Yellow. For his crimes, Sinestro was imprisoned in the Antimatter universe, the home of the Anti-Monitor. If you guys
Ah,
know him from DC and
From
which
DC
crisis?
Universe Online, of course.
Yes, yes.
original
And
character.
and which crisis is he integral to? I can't remember.
Infinite Earths?
Is it that would make sense?
Anti-Monitor is a cool name.
Yeah,
That sounds like a
Is,
very Jack Kirby like kind of name.
is there an Uncle Monitor?
Anti-Monitor. uh, in the Antimatter universe, he finds a planet called Quarg. With the help of weaponeers and technology on that planet, he develops the Yellow Power Ring and the Yellow Central Power Battery. Quarg becomes the home base for the Sinestro Corps moving forward. Yeah, Quarg is kind of like the it's not like one to one like everything in the antimatter universe is like opposite of the real universe, but it is kind of like anti-Oa in a lot of ways.
I never realized his like home base was in another dimension. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that they put him in this other universe and they're like, no, we'll just let him roam free. We won't imprison him.
I mean, that's par for the course in DC. You got the Phantom Zone.
That's true.
And they did just chuck Peacemaker into a new universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he escapes the antimatter universe, he becomes a regular villain for the Lanterns and Hal Jordan in particular, blaming him for his banishment and usurping his title as the Greatest Lantern. Eventually, he is recaptured and imprisoned in the Green Central Power Battery on Oa.
They put him in the battery?
Yep, in
Jesus.
the battery. Because he escaped the antimatter universe, so he's too dangerous.
Yeah.
This is why I'm like wondering, where is he imprisoned?
Yeah. Maybe we just saw Hal go to the antimatter universe to visit him or something.
Yeah, explains how he could get there so fast. If there's like
True.
some way into it.
True.
Maybe he used the pocket dimension that he stores the lantern in.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, maybe that's one and the same. Maybe that's the antimatter universe. Although it feels like a pretty dangerous place to be storing the lantern.
Yeah. But it does sound like since he's still in prison, the Yellow Lanterns are not a thing yet.
No, I can't imagine.
In the show.
I think that the different Lantern Corps would be a good way to expand the story of the Green Lantern part of the universe, because the people know about the Green Lantern, but do they know about yellow and red and blue,
brown?
Frank, would you do the honors of reading this slide's title?
Oh man, tell that to Sinestro's snap neck.
During the events of Emerald Twilight, as Hale makes his way through the universe, defeating and robbing lanterns of their rings, the Guardians feel they have no other choice than to free Sinestro, giving him a power ring to fight Hale. During their fight, Hale takes off all but one ring because he collected a bunch. To make the fight fair, he beats Sinestro and snaps his neck.
Yeah, wow.
Killing
Well, he's
Sinestro.
kind of an idiot for taking off all those fucking rings. Oh, Hal takes off all the rings. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was ice at first. It's just their gloves.
No, yeah. And like this is Hale after, not just fighting Sinestro, but fighting like a bunch of lanterns along the way.
Something I saw people bitching about this week is that the suit doesn't have white gloves.
Whatever.
Like, yeah. What are you going to do? Pepper spray a GameStop employee? Like, shut up.
I think I'm going to go now, guys. I have something to do.
I have a mission, a purpose.
Rebirth. During his imprisonment in the power battery, he discovers the yellow impurity that gave the Corps their weakness is actually a fear entity called Parallax, as we discussed last week. It is later revealed that Sinestro created a hard-like construct of himself
God
to
damn it.
fight Hale. Goading Jordan into killing him was the final step in letting Parallax take over.
Oh.
Which is like such a lame retcon, but I
Yeah, that's
discussed
like
my feelings about it
I was gonna
last
say
week.
that's like a Doombot thing.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. It does the parallax part of the retcon is interesting.
And then it's like, okay, so this hard light construct, he's just so good. It wasn't green. It was or Hales just didn't notice.
But you did say
Sinestro's
that
looking awfully
Hal
green.
recreates all of Coast City. I kind of assumed that looked normal, not
Oh
green.
no, it looked green.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that. In my head, he had matched the colors and everything too. Whoops.
Yeah, no, it was all green. But this also reminded me a lot of the ending of last week's episode where we were discussing maybe it was a hard light construct Hale that was killed. I think that'd be kind of lame, but yeah, as president. Yeah, some bonus notes during Blackest Night. During Blackest Night, every lantern gets a representative on Earth, including the Orange Lanterns. We'll discuss that later. Why that doesn't make sense in another episode. But Scarecrow was temporarily given a yellow ring.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And while I was doing my research for this slideshow, I found out that canonically Booster Gold gave Sinestro the idea for the name Sinestro Corps.
That's funny, but also it seems really obvious. It is his name.
Yeah, but it was I think it was when he was still a Green Lantern. Booster Gold was like trying to prevent a time travel assassination on Hale Jordan. And I don't know why he was lying, because he tells them that he's from the future, but then he says like his future Future Foundation's ring is
I don't know about that. I know the Future Foundation is a Fantastic Four thing.
or oh no, then I'm probably just crossing some wires. Whatever the Legion
The
of
Timekeepers.
No,
the Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, that's it. His ring, which kind of does look like a power ring. He said that it was in honor of Sinestro's Corps. And then Sinestro's like, or in honor of the Corps. I forget the exact wording. And then Sinestro's like, oh, what Corps? And then he's like, the Sinestro Corps. Sinestro's like, yes, of course.
Amazing.
Just thought that was
so.
fun.
This is all because of Booster Gold.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
Okay, that's
just
pretty
ruining
funny.
the timeline as he goes.
Yeah, I love the concept of him as a character. It sucks that show hasn't gotten off the ground.
No, Jerry, do you have sources for all of these?
No.
Okay, well,
I
think
then we're cutting it.
Thomas, I think Jerry just made all this up.
I think he did too.
Pulled it all right out of my ass.
Is parallax even a thing?
Like, he did this when he ran to the bathroom to pee.
Pee, also yellow.
The P Corps.
I had to get my yellow impurity out before the
okay,
lesson.
Since we're talking about yellow, what's the deal with is it All-Star Batman and Robin?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
There's like a panel where like they're all dressed in yellow in a completely yellow room and they're like eating bananas or something.
Yeah,
like...
Batman paints everything yellow.
And he's drinking lemonade.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Hale's like, what the hell, dude? And he's like, can't touch me.
Thomas's favorite comic.
Yes, it is.
Is that the one where Batman calls Robin the R slur?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And makes him eat rats.
Yes.
And
Thomas
then,
has told me about this before. What a crazy comic.
Him and Black Canary blow up a bar and then have sex on her motorcycle outside while people are burning to death.
Man, that really like sums up the mental decline of Frank Miller, where like he starts off with like Batman Year One and his Daredevil run, and then it ends with like All-Star Batman in like the 2000s after 9/11, and it's just batshit insane. Yeah.
And you ever hear about what was it, the Master Race or whatever?
No.
Yeah, Dark Knight 3.
Yeah.
Or Dark Knight Returns 3, whatever.
Well, thank you for the presentation, Jerry. That was very enlightening, and I look forward to next week's.
Yeah, I'm thinking next week will be Red Lanterns.
Red Lanterns.
Well, only if they're in the episode.
Well,
Oh,
I
That
have
was another. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, the reason I'm choosing Red Lanterns is because there is an important character that I'm fairly certain will show up in the show that is a Red Lantern.
Razor.
The cat.
I wish, man.
I did see a theory online. I won't take credit for it. That the alien visitors are like the head guy, who they name Anton in the wiki summary, is Atrocitus in disguise. Don't know if that would make any sense.
That, I mean, a little preview of next week's lesson.
Okay.
His backstory does heavily involve the Manhunters.
Oh, okay. Shit. So maybe that is how that turns out.
So I didn't put 2 and 2 together there, but that does make a lot of sense. I'm not expecting a lot of other colored lanterns in this first season.
Whoa.
It's lanterns of color.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, well, I guess that's it, everybody. We will see you next week. As always, Raccoon Shitty on Mondays until that's over. And these episodes will be every Friday. So, bye-bye, everybody.
See you.
Bye.